Nasa go merere te lawa, go ngai tabua, ando talita kana vararonga na Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Radio Fiji 1 nando maiviti.
Yanavanaka and good morning, Fiji. In this bulletin, heart disease rates reaching new levels. KAVA boosts Fiji USA trade. And villagers commended for supporting tree planting initiative.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Smith.
Heart disease in the country is reaching heights never seen before. The Health Ministry says admissions to hospitals relating to heart diseases have dramatically increased in the last 3 years. While marking World Heart Day yesterday, Permanent Secretary for Health Dr. James Fong highlighted that in 2015 there were 502 admissions, 700 in 2016, and the figure rose to 1,279 2 years ago.
Out of the figure highlighted by Dr. Fong, 12% of the patients had major heart attacks.
And out of those that had a major heart attack, something like 10% of them died within 24 hours of being admitted to hospital. And most of those people with heart disease have been found to have a major risk factor. We all know the risk factors: smoking, unhealthy nutrition, obesity, and lack of physical activity, etc.
We still see patients with the classical presentation. In practice, it's chest pain, the shortness of breath, the dizziness, and the sweating. That seems to be the 4 common things that the patients always present with.
Dr. Fong says people should seriously consider their health.
World Heart Day to me is a time to help us and those we serve to see clearly, or to clearly see how we can look at our hearts and whether our hearts can be made healthy enough for us to live to the potential that we're supposed to reach. That's the question that we need to start posing to the public.
Dr. Fong says the increasing number of such lifestyle diseases also puts pressure on the health system. He adds 82% of the premature deaths in the country are due to non-communicable diseases. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Fiji kava is among the most exported commodities to the United States market, with continuous demand over the years since 2013. Senior Trade and Export Advisor for Investment Fiji, Chanel Naya, says the kava industry is key to our Fijian economy after noting an increased revenue earned of $22.2 million to the US over the past 4 years. He also confirms that a total of 328,371 kilograms of kava was exported last year, an increase of over 43,000 kg from 2018. Naya adds the Fiji Forward initiative will assist Fijians, and an estimated 7,000 Yangona farmers will achieve the forecasted 7% increase of kava export to the US market in the near future.
We are receiving a lot of inquiries. We are receiving a lot of farmers who are interested in becoming exporters. So we're hosting capability programs to upskill them, to ensure that they receive the best-hand advice on how they can become a successful exporter.
Despite the challenges brought on by COVID-19, the University of the South Pacific has recorded an increase in the number of students studying for the 2nd semester. USP Acting Deputy Vice-Chancellor Education Dr. Chito Vanua Lailai says when COVID-19 began making headlines, their main focus was the continuity of the education of Fijian young people. Vanua Lailai says with the resources the university had, they did not hesitate to move face-to-face classes remotely through their distance and flexible learning program.
So when COVID-19 hit us, we were prepared and we did not hesitate to continue the education of our people, which is the focus really of our team, the continual education of our children, of our future leaders.
Minister for Forestry Osena Ngamu has commended the villagers of Malo Malo and Nadronga for their enthusiasm towards the 30 million trees and 15-year initiative. The ministry embarked on this ambitious project early last year and had planted 2.3 million trees so far. This week, the minister is touring Nahoho, Malo Malo and Sana Sana villages in Nadronga to create awareness on the initiative. Ngamu says the district of Malo Malo, which comprises of 7 villages, are very supportive.
Interest from the community. We want to participate, and they have mentioned during our consultation There are plans for them to work with the Ministry of Forestry or government in planting trees to achieve our target in 15 years.
With the sale of rotten meat by supermarkets becoming a recurring issue, the Consumer Council has put a large number of supermarkets under surveillance. Chief Executive Seema Shandel says it is quite concerning that majority of the supermarkets have been caught selling meat of poor quality. Shandel says a huge amount of meat was condemned recently and warns this will continue.
There have been condemnation that has been done to, and we work with the municipal council health inspectors to make sure that the condemnation is done in the right manner, so that it is totally removed from the supermarkets and not put somewhere at the back and then brought back again and resold to the customers.
Over 100 children in the Northern Division had spent their school holidays learning to swim. The program organised by the Fiji Swimming Association was held at the Gurbachan Singh Swimming Pool in Lambasa. Nasekula District School Head Teacher and Coordinator Cecilia Dokanauto says the turnout was overwhelming, and although the children have been coming to the pool in the past, the program has somehow allowed them to learn and know the basics of swimming.
This is first ever swimming lessons, and I know with the current situation that we are having in Fiji, the number of drownings that we have, I think it is very crucial at this time to teach the young children how to swim.
Speaker of Parliament Ratue Pelinaila has encouraged police officers to take care of their health and well-being. Speaking at the Fiji Police Force Remembrance Day yesterday, Ratue Peli says non-communicable diseases continues to be a worrying trend in the force. He says as officers perform their daily duties and looking after the public, they should also be aware of their personal health. The Speaker adds it is crucial that police have the supportive network behind its officers, and he also commended the force for the introduction of counselling services, health and well-being programs that are being implemented.
That non-communicable diseases is a worrying trend in the force. The increasing demands of policing and emerging challenges requires the necessary physical and psychological support to personnel.
Up ahead, FRU to begin drug tests this weekend. An IDC fixtures drawn.
Hi, Bula. I'm Selai from Nandi. I love Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Fiji Rugby Union will officially begin conducting drug tests for the remainder of the Skipper Cup competition this weekend. After a series of discussions with World Rugby, the union has been given the green light to sanction players for any use of illegal substances under the World Rugby guidelines. The Oceania Regional Anti-Doping Organisation will conduct the tests. FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says any players who test positive will be dealt with under the World Rugby regulations.
The FRU signed the agreement, and we've advised the unions this morning that drug testing will commence this week. As part of our agreement, the people who do the drug test, Orado will identify matches, and then we'll identify 2 or 3 players from the matches based on their numbers to be tested in the weekend.
The MACUATA rugby side have secured their place in the Vanua Championship quarter-final round. The side defeated CAKAUDROVE 49-24 in round 6 in the Northern Vanua Division on Saturday, guaranteeing their place in the quarters. MACUATA assistant coach Meli Tambanidala says the players knew what was at stake and played according to their game plan.
Because we were sitting below Mbua in the points table, and we decided to come out with a game plan that suited us the most. So we utilized it, and we came up with 49 points.
The Nandi soccer team wants to restore its lost glory in the court's inter-district championship. The Jet Setters last won the coveted title 18 years ago. Felipe Naikaso reports they had a change in 2015, but lost 2-0 to Bar in the final.
The Nandi side has identified a number of areas they have to work on ahead of the IDC in Suva.
So far, the players are focusing on the formations. They will be playing against the three teams that are in our pool and what they are going to do in the game. So the approach by the players are very good.
They also suffered a major setback ahead of the tournament as captain Avines Warren Swami has been ruled out due to an injury.
So, but we have equally good players there. We got Rahul there for Warren, but for surely Warren will be missed in the game. But we will try our best.
Most of our young players in the team, some of them first time they playing the tournament. Also, most of our players got injury.
The Jet Setters have also won the IDC title 6 times. The tournament will be held at the ANZ Stadium in Suva from the 6th to the 11th of next month. Philippe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
The Fovale Silver football side will play the opening match for the Premier Division in the Courts Inter-District Championship. The hosts will take on Asino in their first group match at 12:30 p.m. next Tuesday. A few changes have been made to the traditional format of holding tournaments, which usually sees the hosting district play the feature and last match of the day.
We have decided to move away from the norm and in view of trying to, because it's a working day as well, we're trying to put up a game that's going to attract huge public support, crowd, television viewers, etc. when it is late. And we want the match after the opening ceremony by the Honorable Prime Minister to be the feature match of the day.
Quick look at the weather map for today. It is Wednesday, the 30th of September, and also the last day of the month. Man, does time fly. A trough of low pressure lies slow moving just to the west of Fiji. An associated cloud and rain is expected to affect the country from later today. A moist easterly wind flow prevails over the country. And that's FBC Morning News. Join us at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. Remember, in times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj. Keeping Fijians connected with the truth.
Hi, my name is Prashant. I live in Suva. I love Mirchi FM because Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.